Hello guys, and welcome back to another Liga IX Hispania replay, guys. I've got another 4v4 for you today. I'm going to change up the schedule a little bit, mainly because this was sent to me by one of my subscribers. He sent me via his email, but however he hasn't told me who he is in the game. All I know is that he's on the Allies team. So, unless ado, we'll start off with the Allies team. We might as well start off. As the Soviet player, we have Bot Elliot. As the British player, we have Warhurst. As the other Soviet, we have, hang on, it's two Warhursts. I thought, no, never mind, got my own outside. As the American, we have Axel. As the other Soviet, we have Red Terror. On the Axis team, we have Inspined, Virgil, 15M Dragon, and AGG Nakos, all playing as the Wehrmacht. So we're going about bug here. I don't have a clue what they're on about, to be honest. So we'll start off with Doctrines for the Axis. So far, Inspined hasn't picked one. Virgil has gone for joint operations. I don't really like this as much as you think, because the artillery field office is not too bad. It gives you a nice buff. The reconnaissance is alright. The artillery gun's alright if you use it correctly. If you spam it, it's just you just don't spam it. It might be effective for a bit, but when they find out where those artillery guns are, you've wasted so much manpower that you're not going to have anything really to defend them. The packing placement is absolutely atrocious. Never use it in my entire life, and I would never use it again. The British, if you want to go for an anti-tank emplacement, the British is always the way to go because you have that brace feature. I like our artillery barrages. It's alright. As 15M, we have another joint operations, and this is a big no-no. Two people going the same doctrine is one of the worst things you can do on this game. Especially one of them that isn't exactly a decent one. And Nakos hasn't picked his. Axel, the American, has gone Armor Company. The Wolverine's not as good. The Bulldozer can be useful. The Assault Engineers can be useful early game, and the Elite Crews and the Howitzers are all okay. Warhurst has gone joint Vanguard operations. I like this. The strafing support's good. The rapid operation, the glider, the vehicle crew, and the crocodile's good if you want to get rid of those big infantry blobs. So I think we're going to look at it at the Ally side, as the Allies are the ones that sent us in. So big push by the American player on the left side here. Didn't seem to have gone successful, as the green Wehrmacht player has a steady hardy defense. However, they are having a lot of luck on the right side. The Axis seem to have just completely forgotten about going for the fuel, which, as the Axis player, you don't really want to do, because this map is all the fuels contained on the right side of the map. For this map, especially, fighting the fuel should be at least one man's designated responsibility, as it is Warhurst's responsibility in this game. Maxi machine gun coming down here. I don't know why he's bringing it in here. There's no need for another machine gun now, especially now there's a Vickers in this building over here. He might be coming to try and do a flank. Well, that's good. Big push going on. Well, a lot of pioneers by the German. Why has he got 4 pioneers in a blob? It's not going to do much. Well, it might do it. If he has flamethrowers, it'll be pretty deadly. But pioneers are good at close range, but still the hit points are not that good. And as you see, they'll start taking damage. Scout car kind of suicided itself. We'll look at ranks. So the Axis team pretty vetted out when it comes to rank. The Allies team still vetted out, but slightly in the favour of the Axis when it comes to rank. And it says Axis cheers. I love that lack of skill. Already a bit of banter going on around. I'm probably gonna get loads of hate for saying the word banter now, but hold up. So we have see, this is what I mean, these pioneers are not going to do much, they're just going to get shot, their hit point is not that good, and this grenade is really hurt them. If it wasn't for that MG in that building there, he would have lost a lot of more men. And we've got more Axis pioneers coming in. It's just strange what he's doing. Right side, heavily fortified by the Allies here. If they want to get this fuel, it's going to be a real pain. Sandbag in the entrance, that's pretty intriguing. I would then put mines underneath, over the sandbag, so every time they jump over, they hit a mine. Which will be very deadly indeed. Pushing a bit too far up there, I believe, by the red player there. Centre very fortified with MGs. We have an MG there, an MG there, MG there, MG there, and another MG here, so 5 MGs in the centre. I wouldn't say it's a spam of MGs, but it's practically, and another MG there. No player's got more than 2 MGs, which makes it not classed as spammy, it's just a bit ridiculous. Not that guy's got 3. Yeah, he is spamming MGs. A bit too much. And the funny problem about spamming MGs, the minute he has some decent early game armor, those MGs will slow them down. And a grenade in one of these buildings like this is very deadly. The majority of the time kills the entire squad. Both is very nice in placement now down by Warhurst there. It's a nice, it covers both fuels. It doesn't cover this area, but if the enemy comes in through this, or I've got to come through here, both is just going to tear them to a million little pieces. Left side, however, they only own 1 victory star right now, and that's a problem. You can afford to take that a little bit early game. I generally understand you can, and it works pretty decently if you can get the armor out quickly enough. However, there is some heavy bunkers coming down at this end here by Nakos, which isn't a bad idea. They fortified it with this here. It just stops any form of infantry assault trying to take on this. However, this building here would be a good position for an NG to cover that building. I believe it would just be in range. So the Allies need to start doing some work soon, or they're going to just lose purely due to the victory points. If you look at here, yellow here is being a stupid person again and just running around with 4 pioneers. 3 of them upgraded with the flamethrowers, 2 MGs, and he's just building more. It's never going to work. Like, watch this. The fact that this Maxim isn't set down is a big no-no. And it's too late now. And those 2 mortars are vulnerable. However, there is some infantry in support and another Maxim machine gun that isn't being microed very well on the right side. That could do to be microed a bit better. I have to say that those flamethrowers will burn that MG pretty heavily. There's no way that MG is getting out of there. And it actually does. The only problem about these pioneers is they are very susceptible to pinning. And as you see, all of them suppressed. Maybe doing a bit of damage with the flamethrower, but nowhere near as much. One well-placed mortar will just push them all the way back, and that was just a failed push there by the Axis. I'll try to push the fuel. A lot of fuel caches going on, which is good, but still, they only own 1 point. They need to start pushing forward a bit and trying to gain another point, or at least another point to try and stem that floor. MG42 pinning the conscripts, however, some more conscripts coming in now. I would move them a little bit over here and try and do a big flank here. Mortar's just missing here by the Russian. They've forced the MG to retreat. So Allies still on the fuel, but still nothing really happening over here. If they come in this side with some flamethrowers and some correct grenade placements, they can do a decent amount of damage on these MGs and buildings here. But I don't see many flamethrowers. Maybe they should tilt. Hang on, there's a couple of flamethrowers by the there's a couple of flamethrowers by the Soviet player. However, he is too busy building fuel caches, which is good. It's just you need to start thinking about possibly catching it. Here's something they've done quite funny. They have sealed up. There's a new noob sniper somewhere, and I can't figure out where it is. There it is. Let's call him a noob. 0 skill. So, let's say the Axis team is very cocky at the moment. The major thing is never get cocky on this game. The Allies can't seem to get in here because they have managed to box off the point with barbed wire, so there's no way in that way, anyways. So they're going to have to make their own way in soon. Some form of grenades. Mortars should do the trick as well. And Axis players are already saying that they're going to win. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But you should never get cocky on this game. Even if it looks like you're going to win, never get cocky. Horrible use of Panzer Grenadiers. Almost lost them. A lot of fortifications being built here. As you see, the Allied players have managed to regain this 1 point here. Due to the lack of due to the lack of actual movable Axis forces. There is, see, apart from that massive clump of flamethrowers, which is just going to be, it might kill. All of them designated in 1 unit will do a lot of damage, but that is so clumped up. They did burn that unit quickly. I have to give them that though. But just so clumped up, 1 mortar hit or a grenade, such as this, and it's bye bye grenadiers, not bye bye grenadiers, bye bye pioneers. And we'll see that you just lost so many men. Lost 2 squads then. For 1 conscript squad. Virgil's being very cocky. He thinks he's going to win. Who's the blue player? Who is actually doing the worst. One of the worst on the Axis team actually. Personally, I think Isbine is doing the worst because why on earth you'd be having this many pioneers is beyond me. He hasn't got anything to show for it. blue, I would say, is just as bad, but he does have Panzer Grenadiers, and Panzer Grenadiers do make up for them. And he has one, so he has got a decent infantry corps. However, you see no army yet. I like it how they do it. They do the fuel, so they are going to get out army before you guys. So getting ready with that, it's not a bad idea. But he hasn't done what he's meant to do. His side is meant to secure. His objective should have been to secure that fuel. And by not even bothering, the enemy has fortified up, and there's no way in hell you're going to get that position now. I don't know how, but the Allies have managed to capture this point now, and I don't understand how they've done it. They've done it, but I just don't understand how they've done it. But they've done it anyways, nonetheless. And they must have gone in with an engineer squadron and just built the defences up when they came out. So now the Axis can't get this point because they did it themselves and they fortified it all up. Big push coming in the centre, but you need to be very careful as well. There's around every corner. It's just there. Just going to suppress those 3 squads. And now you've just ended up with an MG kill box and you need to get out of there. Good of all engineer, they have the thing destroy cover. You can just build destroy cover pretty easily, flank this MG here. And that is a plane crash. It is run noob. So Virgil is being a bit of an idiot and a bit of a prick in my opinion. You should never. The one thing I can't stand, even if you win a game very well, sitting easy and all that's not too bad, but if you constantly keep on harassing the enemy team, like the way he's doing, it's just a bad sportsmanship and a bad character on this game. So, with all fairness, Virgil, if you ever do watch this video, just never be cocky. Alright, you might look like you're going to win, but until that hits the 0 counter, until the enemy surrenders, you don't know anything could happen. So you shouldn't be cocky, and you should always keep an eye out. As we see though, the Allied player has a lot more fuel, and they need to start using it, to be honest. There is an ambulance out on the field. Is that with a bulldozer? What is that? Oh, I was thinking, does that have a... No. Like the camels though, do like that camel. Big push here, a lot of mortars hitting these MGs and positions, now they know where they are. And the enemy line's been deep and pushed back a lot, and they can't get in here, because the idiots have blocked themselves off to it. I suppose that's what they get for blocking themselves off like that. They probably just came in here, probably found a little spot in. Oh, I know how they got in. I know exactly how they got in. They went around, got into this building, got out this building, captured it, got in the building, got out the building. Which is all fairness, it worked, and now they don't have a clue how to get back in this building. So we have some SUs on the field now with the Soviet player. Panzer IV, however, on the field for the Axis, so nothing needs to be worried. So at the moment, the Axis have not lost a single point yet, and the Allies are on 80. So it's not going very well for the Allies. However, it's not even though they're losing so heavily with the points wise, they've had that fuel the entire game, and if they get some serious armor back and hit the enemy so hard they can't recover from that, there is definitely a possibility they can pull this back. They just need to stop doing blunders like sending them in. They should send in some AA anti-infantry tanks and other things like that. And he's finally got in by bringing his Panzer IV in. So he's finally going to be able to capture that. That blob is atrocious in my opinion, and the amount of artillery that's on this is just it's just making me cringe a little bit. But we'll see how it goes. The Axis haven't got anything to push them with him. They've got MGs and a couple of Panzer Grenadiers all upgraded with Panzer Schecks. It sounds like the first win for you, so there's a bit of banter going on here as well. Sue died to a mine, I believe. I think it was a mine. I don't know what hit it. Must have been a mine. And then Virgil said, "Oh, smart win. I think he's gonna win." But again, see red. Again, but then the red Terrace cheers win. Very smart win. It's just I don't know. But you feel like you rush fuel like noobs. So actually, they're really the noobs really, because rushing fuel is a good technique, especially the way they're doing it now. They could have done a bit better. They could have more armor than they do on the field right now. This British player could have at least a Firefly out on the field by now if he wanted to. But is not. I don't know what this British player is doing, but he should have his company up. Does he have his company? Yeah, he does. He can build a Firefly right now. Is he saving up for the crocodile? I don't know. He's miles off it, so he can't be simple. So heavy push on the left side now. Crusader AA tank on the field by Warhurst. where against those, the amount of panzer strength, it really should have been supported, so he's lost that. But he has the fuel to recover. However, he should be really doing a better job. He should be getting out some Fireflies, Cromwell to deal with that infantry, or just Fireflies with a couple of two Fireflies with a Crusader would have been sufficient to deal with any infantry threats. Needs to be careful because these conscripts, if they're upgraded, do have the anti-tank grenades. So, as he is retreating, I'm presuming he doesn't have them. He's just leaving his engineers here to die, which is, I suppose, a tactic. Right side, there is a Panzer IV going against a Sherman, which is, for some reason, he got out to try to cap points right there, which is very, 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 very dangerous, which I would never recommend. There is some armor on the field still. However, 36 points to 500. It's not looking good at all for the Allies. They need to seriously get some armor out in this field and start doing enough damage to really stop. There is a cargo truck here, so somebody, yep, he's gone for the assault support. I love this doctrine. I use it quite a bit. The cargo truck really increases your resource production, especially when they don't have the fuel. That's a good thing to do, really. There's some AT guns coming into the field here. However, he should have retreated those mortars straight away, and he didn't. And his AT gun missed, so he's lost a mortar. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. This bot Elliot is being absolutely stupid. He's acting like a bot. So he's being very stupid with his army at the moment. British player, nice all-round army. In my opinion, should have some armor out. So that's not just a Crusader. He has the munitions. There we go. Now he's bringing out a Firefly. That's better. Axel, he's got enough fuel. You haven't made you out. Spam those Shermans like I've never seen. This is what he should be doing. Sure, he's doing a good job bringing out some Sus. So he's got some anti-armor on the field. Crusader mixed in. He's not a bad choice with the Firefly now. We'll do a good job at dealing with some of this infantry. And they seem to have pushed far enough deep down in the centre that they actually have taken the other star and taken the bottom right star. So they're now on 4 stars, and they are pushing the Axis back pretty heavily right now. However, you need to make sure you don't overextend. There's a massive Axis push going to be pushing the Sherman. Bit too much. The 2 Panzer Grenadiers would have been enough. You didn't have to move in the infantry as well, but you know. So the Crusaders tanks moving into the field. A lot of allied armor coming out now, and this is exactly what the Axis needed to stop doing. They needed to build mines. They needed to mine a lot of places up here. If they mined these roads down, it would have seriously hampered their assaults. And that those Panzer Grenadiers did it with being microed horribly, and he's just lost 2 squads of Panzer Grenadiers with upgraded Panzer Shreks. So he's calling everyone a noob. Now who's the noob now, Virgil? In my opinion, he's being a noob right now because he's just lost 2 Panzer Grenadiers by clumping them up with upgraded Panzer Shreks. If it was for his ally, he would have probably lost the other one as well. Sue died there, however there's a lot of tanks going into this play right now. So the Germans are going to lose Panzer IV by the look of this. Yep, Panzer IV down. However, if he did that, Sue doesn't get out of there soon, he's going to lose a Sue. Howitzers are drawn too close to the front line. They need to get out of there right now. And that Panzer IV missed that shot, which is pretty lucky. Again, gets a cheeky shot off on the Panzer IV. Panzer IV is more going for the artillery, and fragmentation bomb. Used pretty badly. If it hits it, he could have lost the other one as well. That's the SU-76 who's doing a great job on these Panzer IVs, and has actually drawn this other one into a double AT gun and killed it. So heavy push on the left side of the field as well, causing the Axis to retreat. Oh, there's some artillery coming in, so they're not going to be able to capture that point. Oh no, hang on, the British player has pressed raid operations, so can actually capture points with her vehicles right now, which he did. Good use of the vehicles there. That's the American infantry's push. Now, as we see, it's now pushed heavily in the Axis favour. However, there's some infantry moving up onto this point here that needs to be very careful about that, because they can't afford to really lose this point for much longer, as there's only 27 points, so they need to be careful. However, there's a T34S that if it mobilises quickly enough probably may stop that, but I don't think he's realised. And if they take this star in the centre here, they'll do it, which they are looking at doing, but they decided to retreat after some heavy artillery is coming into the field. Oh, anti-tank grenades by the conscripts now.
damaged that guy's engine, and some artillery has been called into the field as well. I believe that was Axis, well I can't tell to be honest who threw in the artillery. Stu, it's a 2-star, and needs to be careful if this shot hits, but luckily the AT grenade from the conscript killed it before I had a chance to get that other shot off. I believe this is Axis, yeah this is definitely Axis artillery then. However, there's a heavy push going on here, and it looks like the Allies have managed to capture this point and stop the flow of enemy troops going, and we should be able to hopefully re-secure this point down here. Even though I don't like Wolverines, in this situation, they've not done a bad job at helping to take out, because you can take out Panzer IVs, and they've done a good job, but the majority of the time, if you're going to bring a tank destroyer, the Americans call it the Jackson. The Jackson is an amazing tank destroyer. It's not as good as the Firefly, but it's got a bigger gun than the Firefly as well, I believe. But it can pierce any tank's armour. Any tank in this game, it can pierce its armour. Although, like I said, the Wolverine's armour is atrocious. So's the Jackson's, but the Jackson has a huge range on the Wolverine, and the Jackson's can just do a better job. And you should never have an army full of Jacksons. What you should always have is a couple of Shermans, and then the Jackson's in the background. Or if you go this Wolverine doctrine, have the Bulldozer in front. That Bulldozer can sponge bullets like I've never seen before. Let's have the Jacksons in the back shooting. Great infantry support. If it was a howitzer shot there onto the troops there, and a bit overkill when it comes to the infantry in the south.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
And has managed to actually recapture this point, which is good. So now 4 out of the 5 points, however, this centre one there has been retaken. But as you see, the points favour is still in the Axis favour pretty heavily. However, the tank war is going very good, and the Axis off the whole of tanks. And the Axis need to be very careful. When they lose their tanks, they're going to be struggling heavily. Some Stu artillery coming in here. We need to be very careful. This thing can be very deadly. It lands a shot off. And on the left side is very heavily secure now. So, and now Warhorse here's to the Axis team, not so cocky anymore. Which is all fairness. The Axis team were very cocky. They were going to win this game now, and all of a sudden they've been pushed back all the way back to base. And here they're saying we have one noob here. AFK. And I looked through this. There is no AFK person on this team. Yellow's working. No, they had 2 people that aren't as good, but they are still working. Blue's got troops on the field, moving around. Green's got troops in the field. Turquoise has got troops in the field. Blue has the same for the other team. And in my opinion, it's just the Axis team trying to think of an excuse why they're all of a sudden starting to lose the game. And now the Axis need to start thinking, okay, maybe we should start going for the fuel. And we see this now with the Panther on the field. This Panther is the only thing this green guy's produced of a tank variant, and it will do a good job. But you need to be careful because the amount of armour on, support it with Panzer Grenadiers as he's doing, it's a good job. Nice little strike force coming up here. I have to admit that of the majority of them, this guy has been probably one of the. This guy's probably been the best player on the green team. He's the furthest away, and it shouldn't have been his job to go for this. It should have been Blue's or Yellow's job to go for this, and they didn't. So now Greens have to come off the entire side of the map to deal with something he shouldn't have had to deal with in the first place. And he's going to take out this Bolfers. However, it's going to be brave. He's going to alert the Axis. And as we see, this guy is what this class has been, the AFK noob. He's not being AFK. He's not this guy. Sorry, this guy. Sorry, but he's done a horrible job. But for some reason, he's just deciding to stockpile T3476s. This Soviet guy's done a great job. Axel's done a great job. British player's done an alright job. Well, done a pretty decent job himself. But I think it's done an atrocious job. Turquoise has done an alright job. However, his army's been pretty badly damaged now. Green's done a great job. His spin's been a bit, his spin's been horrible, to be honest. I'm going to say it right now. That is a horrible use of pioneers that he's used, and it's a bit too late now to be putting out troops. And again, Virgil just going 3 pioneers, 2 Panzer Grenadiers. Get some Grenadiers out. There's nothing wrong with Grenadiers. Those rifle grenades could help you win a lot of infantry engagements. But he's just not doing it. So there's been a heavy push on this side, and the Allies being pushed. The Allies are pushing the Axis back almost to the base right now. They're barely hanging on to this point here at this moment in time. But however, the green Axis player is starting to push and take the fuel point, which the allies need to get on top of that relatively quickly. And blue, who is the second furthest away, has also taken the tank over, even though it's none of their responsibilities. But they're taking it into their own hands to try and deal with something that their teammates have failed to do. Glider here, I don't get why. Maybe back when it was needed, maybe, but still, yeah. It can be used as a forward retreat point, I suppose, which is decent, and it's guarded by both as placement, so it is protected at least from any deep raids from infantry trying to take it out. Yeah, that Panther's still causing havoc, and the British player has to be forced back and needs to get his. He's got the armour to deal with it. He's got a second Firefly coming out, and 2 Fireflies and a Crusader is easy enough to take out the Panther and a Panzer IV. This was Panzer Grenadiers you need to be careful of. He has the infantry as well. No medic infantry though, which needs to be done. You should have really a medical one in there as well with his infantry sections. And you got to look bot Elliot just spamming those T34s. Which is why you don't give Soviet players fuel and let them try and use it, because this is what happens. You're going to verse a lot of tanks, and the Axis don't have much things. You have the Panzer Grenadiers, a couple of AT guns. You even have a pack in placement, which is just is a horrible thing to do, and I've said this multiple times. This thing cannot take any enemy fire. It's good if it's supported heavily like it is now, but that thing can't always be. They said that 2 defensive lines, 2 wide. That is a horrible place to put a pack gun. This, on the other hand, is a great place to put a pack gun. It's a nice overview on this point here. Can't really flank it very well. Decent amount, and it has some armor support with an AT gun, which is very well placed as well. It feels to me like the green player, and the turquoise player is just trying to hold the scene together. They're getting pushed so heavily on their side, but they can't divert the troops because they're the only ones that are just competent enough to think we need to start getting fuel now, guys. On which they have done that. The green player's been successful and has done that successfully. However, if you think there is some defences over here about, I think yes, there is a. Yeah, there's only one. So yeah, there's only the airline officer on the left side defending. Not much combat going on here, to be honest. It's pretty much a stalemate now, so I'm going to fast forward it a little bit because there's not much going on. We'll look at the mini map. See, there's no engagements happening yet. And then this lonely Panzer IV has to push forward and seize all these T3485s, T3476s, and it's just going to get absolutely. This MG is just doesn't stand the light of day. Really pressed the retreat button when it just sold, and as we'll see, just got ran over. And those T34s want blood, and they're aiming straight for them. And they see this heavy defensive position in the centre, and what are the Allies players going to do? They're just going to go around and say, we're just going to flank. However, you need to be careful. This AT gun has been set up to hit this area, and Wolverines can't take anything forward fire. Oh, however, they're not going to be able to reset the positions up quick enough to deal with this. And there's now a massive army of T34 85s, just pushing them all the way back to base. He may lose a tank or 2, but that Panzer IV's dead. These pioneers that the blue and yellow seem to be building all the time aren't going to do anything to help them right now. This big AT gun's going to do some stuff. I'm going to start taking out a couple of them. These Panzer Grenadiers will do alright and help quite heavily, but there's just too many T34s. They're just going to get run over. They may kill a couple. As you see so far, they don't have the fuel really. Now the British players starting to react and start taking back the fuel points. So that's the third Panzer that's died, and the AT gun, like I said, is absolutely atrocious. Has just been decrewed. I guess that's what happens. And there's nothing here to do to defend against it. Everything's been killed. The entire back defense has been destroyed, and the British player, and the American players, come forward with his bulldozers and just destroyed everything here. Heavy artillery, and now Virgil saying, "Oh, there's a noob here." Well, really, in my opinion, he's also a noob, and he's rage quit, and that just shows the type of character he is at this moment in time. So as you can see, guys, this just proves something. Even no matter how hard it looks, you're gonna win. And there you go. The Allies players are going to have a bit of fun now, as you can imagine, which I'm perfectly fine with, especially how the Axis team has been mocking them the entire game, which is fair enough. And the T34 is just the T34s that just raging through the base. This guy didn't do any of the entire game, but I have to say he's made up for it in the end with all these T34-85s. He's did a good job, and this bulldozer has done a good job as well. The Wolverines, I would have liked to have seen more armor from this guy personally, and a couple of Katyushas. He has the fuel, I believe he has the fuel.
The British players, well, hasn't used his armour as effectively as he would have liked to, but either. But this massive push here does great, and it just absolutely. I wouldn't have gone. I would not have gone. And he's found the poor truck, and the truck's dead. He has got. I understand why he's pushed back. He has got 2 weak tanks here, and the fuel is slowly being retaken here. And I said, what? I don't know what the sides have got with pioneers, but they like them too much. And then some more 2 pack guns being built at base. The Axis just don't have anything, so I'm going to fast forward it now through to the end. So there's a couple of tanks on the field still. Another a Stug, I believe. Is a Stug? Yeah, Stug's been brought onto the field. Panzerwerfer, pack guns. They're just preparing a base defence now, but the Allies don't need to push. This is to hold the points, which they're doing, and have managed to. Yeah, they're not bothering with the fuel now, which is a bit silly, but as you need to be careful for, because if the Axis stop pumping that armour again at this point, they can still push them back and capture to win the game. But I think it's just too far gone, personally. I think the British player was atrocious with his armour the entire game. He didn't do as much as he would have liked. Great infantry usage and great capturing that fuel for the majority of the game, but he had these fireflies in the field that haven't really done much. They've done some. I think it's got a star. This thing must have killed. This thing has killed 3 vehicles, so it has done things. But there's big pushes going on here. The Allies are just trying to. The Axis are just trying to do one last push to try and do something over here with what's left of their armour, supported with pipe guns. But the Allies' infantry is just too. It's just too vetted up now that they just don't have anything that can really deal with it. They've only just been destroyed or hasn't been there in the first place, just due to the amount of Panzer Grenadiers with upgraded Panzer ships aren't going to get infantry, pioneers aren't going to do anything, and the T34S are back. As we'll see, 10 points to 21 points. Great game here, guys. Very good clutch. I can't believe the Allies actually won this back. They've done a very good job. This is what you need. This is what I mean. They said they were new for rushing fuel early on. In my opinion, they're not. Rushing fuel early on allows you to push late game like this when things aren't looking your way. So we'll quit that match, guys, and we'll go to the end screen. Thank you very much for my subscriber who posted this in. I don't know who it was on the Allies team, but thank you very much. It was a very full game. And if any of you guys want to send me in any replays at all, feel free to send them to legioixhispania1999@gmail.com. The email will be in the description. I will look at all games first, and I will post the best ones I see. This was a very good game. I will happily post. I loved happily commentating over this game. Very fun game. As we'll see, the damage dealt on both sides was relatively similar. It's just the armour late game that really put the nail in the Axis coffin. As we'll see, we'll have a look at the graphs. Those were the weirdest graphs I've ever seen, but that happened. There you go. We can see what happened there. Construction and everything. So thank you guys for watching. This is Legio Hispania signing out for the day. Bye bye, guys.